Hello, and welcome to the 10th episode of The Confused Yorkshireman. I'm
we're
Ben.
doing this for a decade now, actually. Just 10 episodes. This is the...
Yes, Frank, that's how it works.
Yeah, that's Frank.
I hate that you're laughing at your own shitty joke.
Hey, if I'm the one, if no one else is gonna laugh at it, I have to laugh at it, because otherwise, then I'm not funny.
Well, you should have faith in the audience. I bet the audience is laughing at you.
Are you going to introduce yourselves? Because it's me and stuff like that.
You're the host. You're supposed to introduce us.
Yeah, introduce us.
Oh my god. This is how I've always done it.
I'm Frank.
I'm George.
We're The Confused Yorkshireman. And we're all here today with a question each. And I'm going to start with, if you had to relive high school and you retained all your current knowledge, what would you do differently? Or would you do anything differently?
Not chase after the girl I chased after for many years. That was a mistake. We all know the girl.
I to be fair, George, I feel like you weren't the only one chasing after that girl.
Yeah, but I did it for a long time, and
Well,
I'm not going to say it ruined my life, because it didn't ruin my life.
It made you the person you are today.
Well, bitter and horrible.
Well, yeah, but if you're going back with all your memories, then you already are the person you are today. You just get to have some reshots at...
Yes. If we're talking about having girlfriends in high school, going back with your memories, it sounds kind of rapey. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
Also, I've got the mind of a 22-year-old getting 14-year-old girlfriends.
12-year-old body.
Oh, I wasn't getting girlfriends at that time, Ben.
Firstly,
I was fantasizing about having girlfriends.
Who the fuck was getting girlfriends in year 7? Like, I was just trying to work out what the fuck was going on. Like,
what did I do?
Still
in year
that,
7? I can't remember year 7. Oh.
I was in the library with.
I remember I was on the hill, rolling down the hill.
Truly, Chad maneuvers right there.
Can tell with the cool kids.
It was cool because you weren't allowed on that area in time.
I feel like I just wouldn't give a shit. Like, I would take so much more advantage of the free time.
Yeah.
Because I'd realize, like, there was so much stuff I got stressed about in school that I'm like, not really. It doesn't really fucking matter, does it?
What stressed you out in school?
It's like having to do work all the time and GCSEs and shit like that.
Who studied for the GCSEs? I didn't do a single bit of revision for my GCSE.
Okay, I also didn't do any revision for my GCSEs.
And guess what? I passed.
Did you know the GCSE I got the highest marks on, which was business studies? I showed up to the exam hungover. And
you can't say that, Frank. You weren't legal to drink at the time. Whoa.
Well, I was legal to drink in a private establishment, not in a public area.
Yeah, but you only ever drink in public. We know this, Frank.
I only drink in the park. It's the only way I can.
Yeah, that's what you do. You just take up alcoholism. It's like, you know what? I don't need to study. I'll just drink alcohol.
I mean, apparently it worked. Like, if my highest marked exam was the one I showed up to hungover, surely I should be hungover in more situations like that.
Someone comes into the optician to get their eyes checked, and then they see you there.
Just there with shaking alcoholic hands.
Personally, I'm not the one having to check the eyes, so it's fine. I just have to.
Okay, when you bend in there, like the glasses to form them, you're just there shaking those, like.
All right, it's fine. I don't shit. Your hands shake when you're hungover.
No, if you're going to be drinking all the time, you're going to be alcoholic, and that's one of the symptoms, isn't it?
Well, I've never never said that. I just was like, yeah, I'm not an alcoholic. I just enjoy a drink. There's difference.
That sounds like an alcoholic, Frank. I hate to say it to you. Do you need help, Frank?
I'm fine. I don't
Okay,
drink
as long as
as much. Like, I think when was the last time I had a drink? It was like, I think it was last week or something like that.
You remember when you were a kid and you used to love like the time when you finally got a drink because you weren't allowed, and now it's just like I hate drinking.
I was never bothered about it, to be honest.
I want to be a cool kid, but I never was.
I got drunk a couple times on estates, which is a wildest experience. Have you ever, like, as kids, I don't know if either of you were ever involved in this kind of scenario where you were just with about 4 or 5 other kids and you're just all having drinks and just going for walks on, like, an estate.
I
Any of
used
you
to go for walks, but it was like round the woods and no drinks were involved because I was a responsible child and I had a bedtime and a curfew because my mum looked after me.
So you were never part of the roving gangs of drunk children that on occasion would go around. Because
it's boxers.
Oh fuck! Edit that out.
What's there? I have to beef that.
Oh, that was funny.
Oh fuck! You can tell I'm not with it today.
Oh, I wonder. Yeah, the deep technical issue. So, guys, back to the question.
I'll just beep over the names.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But there were some times where, you know,
what were you doing roaming the streets of my hometown? Why don't you stick to your own hometown, boy?
Because all the people that I was friends with in high school, guess what? I'm like, because you guys know where I live.
I do, yes.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say it.
I'm not going to say the names of places anymore because I'm small brain and dumb. Yeah, so because I'm that further out, I'd end up just walking around and sort of hanging around at theirs and stuff like that. And they were like, "Want to have a drink, Frank?" I was like, "Sure."
How did they get this alcohol? What?
Either their parents got them it, they stole it from their parents, or they would acquire it from a corner shop that didn't really care.
Okay. So if you went back, would you do this more?
I don't know. That's the thing. Because I'm like, there was no consequences for that kind of behavior.
Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it at the time, but I feel like there was also some fucking awful amounts of drama in that group. Like, there was so much drama in high school, and I think I'd just fuck it all off. Like, someone would turn around at me and be like, "This person's doing this, and this person's doing that." And
it was just like high school teenager drama. You're just above it now.
I just turn around and be like, "I don't give a fuck if he's shagging your girlfriend. Like, wait, that's your problem."
I was just playing video games, and people were out roaming the streets drinking and shagging.
I mean, I didn't realize
maybe Frank was one of the cool kids.
Yeah. What the hell's going on?
I didn't feel like I was one of the cool kids. Man, the group I was in was weird.
You've been part of that many groups that I don't even know which one you're on about. I'm guessing I can guess which one.
Yeah, you can guess which one, but it's weird because I kind of bounce between like my like nerdy group, which are like the guys I still talk to today, because
me.
Yeah. But that group, and then there was my sort of like, it was mostly, I don't know what you call them.
Cool kids.
No, because they weren't the group that had the cool kids in, you know, by the standard metrics. You get me?
I'm going to say all the sporty people.
Yeah, it's not all the sporty people. It was sort of your alternative scene. So like the people that would.
I know which ones you're talking about now.
the people that wear lots of black and dye their hair. I don't want to go like alternative because I hate the term alt scene. Like fuck off. You're not like alternative.
People who
You just
name
listen to
themselves
black.
after the moon.
Like if like I don't like the term alternative because it's like, what do you mean you're alternative?
Everyone's
You're
alternative to another person.
yeah. Like what do you?
It doesn't make
The
sense.
fuck are you talking about?
Everyone's different.
Just because you were listening to My Chemical Romance doesn't mean you've come on to a whole different form of reality. Shut up. You just.
Frank, this was you. You're saying shut up to yourself?
Yes, I am. Just like, don't think you're better than that guy over there just because you listen to Fallout Boy, you fucking self-centered.
A question for you, Frank. Knowing this, if you did go back, would you choose different friends?
I know I would.
Oh yeah, your friends were awful, Ben.
Yeah.
I'd probably end up. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I'd want to. Wait, am I going back in time in my timeline?
Yeah.
So
your
mind now. Your mind now is getting put into like 12
Day one of starting high school.
Do you not understand, Ben? I'm making bets on things now.
Yeah. But can you remember all that stuff?
Yeah, Frank, can you remember?
As long as I get like 1 or 2 major events, I can make some bets, right?
Do you know 1 or 2 major betting events?
You could buy some Bitcoin.
Yeah! It's before the Bitcoin shit.
You could buy Bitcoin. And then sell
What's
it
Amazon's
off before...
share price at that time? What's Amazon's share price in 2012?
Not a lot.
Oh, but I can't buy it because I'm fucking shit!
Yeah, you have to be 18 to buy stocks.
I'm 12. I have to turn around to my father and be like, Father, I have received knowledge from... I have received knowledge from the future.
I feel like you'd end up in an asylum somewhere if you kept on with that behaviour. My son keeps on saying he's seeing things from the future. And he's right about it.
Exactly.
I just didn't believe him.
I could predict up till after the year 2021. Up to the year 2021. After that, I don't fucking know what's going on.
You know when COVID strikes.
Yeah, but no one's going to believe me.
You can prepare yourself for that.
What? By just having by working from home
already. You can stock up on toilet roll before everyone else does.
I feel like I'd be super bitter if I went back with my current brain because I wouldn't be able to deal with people like teenagers shit. But I'd also be a teenager, so it'd apply to me. But at the same time, I'd just be like, I don't want to deal with this. I want you all to fuck off and just leave me alone.
I think while I'd be above the drama, I would still find it fucking hilarious. Like,
it's entertaining, isn't it?
Like, cause
but it'd be like, oh, this person's shagging this person. It's like, I am in a virgin body, but I know what it's like to have sex.
Okay.
I would be that guy. I'd be like, I can't prove that I'm not a virgin, but I've got more experience than anyone, and everyone's like, oh, I'm mega Chad. I'm like, yes.
Just turn around and be like, no, you're not. Just explain to them that they're not.
And then you'll be like, I understand what adult life is like. You think you're playing at it, but you're not in crippling...
It's weird how fast kids are to grow up. Like, how much they want to grow up. You get me?
Like, because they've got the internet these days.
When you're going through and being... Like when you're in your teenage years, you're feeling like, oh, once I'm an adult, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And I think that
you think you'll have more freedom,
and then you realise you're useless and you can't do anything.
You realise like all the time you have is when you're a kid, but you don't have the money to do anything you want to do,
and you don't have the
But then when you're an adult, you've got the money, but you don't have the time.
And then when you get into retirement, you've got the time, you've got the money, but you don't have the energy.
Yeah. Depressing.
God, you like every fucking YouTube channel that's like, ooh, inspirational, or depressing.
Inspirational. How about you be happy?
Oh, you know what I could do? I could go back and I could just watch all of the Yogscasts again, like it's new.
Oh my god!
You know what?
Oh my god, I can see the Tekkit come out as it goes.
Oh my god, we can see certain people that aren't there anymore.
Oh yeah, because we can see them before. We can early warn them Do not hire the Kafkas.
I wasn't gonna name him. Can we not?
Well, Kafkas wasn't in it when we were there. He joined in and then...
He
I'm
joined
still
like
watching him.
A-levels time, I think.
I'm
Yeah,
still watching the Yogscast guys.
Yeah, I still watch the Yorkshire. I still watch TTT.
Yeah. Shout out to them.
Well, it's
Yeah, I'm sure they
there
need
was,
that.
there was something I saw. There's something I saw recently. Have you guys heard of any of the Dream SMP stuff?
No.
Is that the speedrun stuff?
No, that's Dream speedruns recently. Well, not recently. It's old news by internet standards, but it was shown that he was just kind of cheating in his speedruns, and no one gave a shit, which I found
Oh, yeah, I think
interesting.
I've heard of it.
Like his entire fan base were like, no, actually, he just got these 6 billion chances like 4 times in a row, and I'm like, okay, that's interesting.
Makes sense to me. Why wouldn't it?
He's just that lucky, you know.
Yeah.
But the stuff happening on the SMP server, I don't know what SMP stands for actually, but it feels like the Tekkit series in terms of the sort of loose story that's going on. And all it's hilarious seeing all these like.
Is the SMP thing? Is it a Minecraft server?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I've never heard of this.
It feels like. Do you remember when it was like Rivian?
Yeah, they were all in the
Yeah.
same world, but they had different series going on. Like you had the
Within
main
Zoe.
one, Sipsker, Bedrock guys, whatever they were called.
Yeah, they were doing all the different stuff.
Yeah, the Railway Brothers.
Oh my god,
Rail Bros.
Rail Bros, where they made 3 episodes of it. It's like, what the fuck am I doing? I hate. I'm too much of a Chad for this. My favorite thing about Strip and leaving the Yogscast is everyone around him at the Yogscast just didn't know what to say to him a lot of the time. When Lewis wanted to tell him off for something, he couldn't because Lewis would go and be like, "We need you to stop doing this, Sam." And Sam would just turn around and Lewis would be like, "Oh, he's so big! He's Chad energy!" And I'm like, oh my god, it's beautiful. Oh, it's just quite funny. And the whole Dream SMP stuff, just for me, it feels very inspired by that. Or at least it's convergent evolution. It's just
everything on the internet's inspired by something else.
Yeah.
Well, people doing the Dream SMP stuff is probably the people who grew up watching the Yogscast.
That is true. That is true. But I don't see anyone mentioning it in the comments, and I'm like, am I?
You know what I do?
That's because the people watching it now wouldn't have watched the Yogscast because they're all like too young for it.
That's fucking no.
I know exactly what I'd do, guys. I'd play FIFA. I'd record myself opening packs and breaking stuff when I don't get good things, or when I get good things. And I'd be like, "Do you know the Sidemen?
So you're just gonna,
Harry Road to Shore? That's how he did it. He just played FIFA growing up since he was about 12 to now. I think he's like 23.
So you're gonna say us to try YouTube?
Well, he knows what trends are gonna hit.
Yeah, that's what you. The one thing I grew up knowing more than anything is YouTube. Because I've grown up watching it. I know exactly what's going to happen when it's going to happen.
You could get on the Fortnite hype train really early. You could be the ninja.
No. What you do is you play the original Battle Royale, which is Minecraft Hunger Games.
Oh my god, that's...
Do you remember the Minecraft Hunger Games videos?
Yeah, I do.
Oh my god. Do you remember those days?
I do. Oh, I used to watch like Minecraft videos and then sit on my rubbish laptop and just build in creative in Minecraft. Be like, I'm as good at building as Shin is. But he did his Let's Build series. Oh, I feel sad now. I feel old, guys.
We're only 22.
I don't
know. It can only get worse from here.
Just say that.
Well, it's because we're like...
We're in the prime of our lives, guys.
Fuck off. I'm so angry that the 21, like my prime, like fucking going out and doing shit year, right? Has been fucked into a lockdown. Like 21, right? That's like the year you do all the shit.
Well,
because you do all your shit.
Not anymore.
22.
Can I?
Yeah. Just do it another time, Frank. Just delay it. Not
Yeah,
like
but
you've
I'll
got.
keep.
I,
I don't know how many years I've got,
Sad
George.
thinking about this. Oh,
Alright. Oh, going back to the school, would you change any of the subjects that you studied?
Yes.
What would you change them to? And what did you do before?
I got kicked out of languages, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm okay. I was okay with getting kicked out of languages. I didn't have to go to language lessons anymore. Free period. I'm not gonna lie. The teacher told me I had no potential to learn in languages, and I was like, "Thank you, miss. I will now leave."
was she correct? Yeah, but now you can be
Well-
like, hey, I'm actually fluent in sign language, which is the superior language, and you'd be
Well,
like,
yeah, but they'd have
yeah,
turned
boy.
around and shit talked sign like they always do. Like, fuck.
Yeah, that's what I'd have done. I'd have been like, I'd have questioned the school. Why don't you teach sign language? You call yourself a language college, but you don't speak sign language.
Do you
Is
know
there
why
a
they call-
GCSE in sign language?
There's a qualification you can get. It's not a GCSE though.
Is it like equivalent to one?
I believe, yeah. I believe level 3 is equivalent to.
I'm surprised you couldn't just do that.
You think the school gave a single shit? Do you know something really funny? So
What?
when did we start school?
2011.
2011.
2011. So
I
from
was year
there
7.
till
A decade
now,
ago.
my dad has had kids in that school. So there was me, and then after as I hit like sixth form, my siblings came in. So how long? So that's 10 years of my dad being on that school's registration, and they've got his details and all that. Do you know what they still do to my deaf father?
They call him
They call him. They fucking call him when my siblings are ill. And my siblings have to explain every time, yo, don't call the deaf man.
I'm sorry
your
for
life.
laughing at you, Dad, but I just feel so sorry for him.
It's not complicated. On parents' evening, they still try and get my siblings to translate for them, which my dad is against because he doesn't want his kid, who's having the fucking report from the parents, be translating the report. Because I'm not gonna lie, my dad knows that if the teacher goes, he's being a cunt, the kid's gonna go around and being like, everything's fine, Dad. Like, he knows that.
Can I just write? Like on a whiteboard or something?
Yeah, but it's ball ache, isn't it? Like, he's ending up sitting there having a written conversation through passing notes.
Yeah.
And it just feels shit. And every year he has, for the first 5 years of me being there, which is like nearly all of them, he was every year we asked for an interpreter. Every year the school said they would provide. It would get to the day. There was only one time they brought an interpreter in.
I mean, one time's better than zero. Still
Well,
not
that's
great.
true. Like, what the fuck?
I wonder if it's like that other schools or just ours.
I don't know. There are deaf-specific schools, so the kids that are going there, they're fine. But as a
but that's for deaf students, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know how many deaf students went to our school.
Fucking none.
I don't think there were any actual students.
I feel like if there'd have
people
been
were hearing, like,
okay, if there was,
difficulty.
Do you remember the ones with hearing aids and they had to
Yeah.
give teachers the microphone? And remember when they had to go outside to tell someone off and they could just hear every word? They could just hear them telling them off.
That's cool.
I don't remember that, but I laughed anyway because it sounds silly. God.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd actually do with school. I feel like a lot of the stuff I'd learn at GCSE, I can remember because it's very simple stuff, especially when we did it. GCSE might be really hard now, but when we sat GCSEs, they were not hard.
I think
Well, they've taken some stuff from A level to put into GCSE, you know.
I feel like my mindset, as it currently is, would be much more suited to studying because I could not. Like, and also I was very panicky. I still kind of am, but like when I was doing my A levels, I had like multiple complete mental breakdowns, like just because I was like, I don't get it, I don't get it, I don't get it. It was falling apart. Because basically, for all of GCSE, I kind of cursed it. I never had to try.
Yeah, that's same for me. And then A level's a completely different story.
Yeah.
And I.
Do you think you'd still do sixth form and do A levels, or do you think you'd do something else?
I don't know. I feel like I'd have a better understanding of what I want to do when I'm older. I feel like I'd do something outside of school, like learning to code or something.
Um.
Because I know
So you'd go
the odd
to
bit of code
college.
at the moment, but I don't know. I don't know if I'd go to college or if I could just try to do something on the internet, get myself noticed when I'm younger, and then maybe someone takes note of me and wants to employ me or something like that. If I end up to be a coding genius when I'm a kid and
Well,
post
you
about it on
could
the
just
internet,
do that during high school. Like, you could start just coding in year 7.
yeah,
If you already got that bit of knowledge.
yeah.
Just get an online course.
I just need to convince my parents to buy me a computer. Do I get to take my money back with me?
You can do it with your laptop, can't you?
If I withdraw all of my money from my bank and have physical money, can it teleport back with me?
No. Because I
Why
assume the
not?
money.
So
a lot
all
of the money.
years I've spent working, Ben, for nothing.
Yeah, just like in the end of your life. You can't take it with you into the next one, so like.
I'd request to go to Hogwarts instead of the school we went to.
Okay.
I mean, I never got my letter, so I'm just saying. I'm
just a muggle, aren't you?
Oh, don't. Muggle sounds like such a bad word. Like,
what
I
about
want like
Mudblood?
I don't. Ooh, that's yeah, but Mudblood's like so like blatantly like you're fucking worthless. Whereas Muggle sounds like something that if I didn't know about Harry Potter and I was walking through like a street in like or something, and someone shout. Yeah, but we've said Leeds before. So.
Leeds is a lot bigger.
A lot bigger.
I don't know these sizes. Fuck it, well, yeah, just beat me this episode.
Oh, I've just so much editing this episode.
Ben's got to censor me this episode. If I'm walking down through a dark alleyway and someone shouts "Oi, Muggle," I feel like that's a bit of a slur. Like I'm like
a Muggle sounds like a made-up thing. Like a mudblood, it's things that already exist. It's mud and blood, and it's like mud. You think, oh, it's dirty and stuff.
George.
It's contaminated. Muggle is just a made-up word.
Isn't every word made up?
Yeah, every word's a made-up word.
You're the reason people can't be happy.
Okay.
Specifically.
I
feel
the
I
only
think I'd study something different.
The only subject I enjoyed at A level was drama, so I might just do that.
Just become an actor, Frank. Become the next Henry Cavill. Play Warhammer. play WoW and become an actor.
Get really
become
buff.
Superman. Yeah. Oh my god, I could get buff.
What? We just all start going to the gym.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you went back, I wouldn't. I'd be in your life because I was there, but I wouldn't know you've gone back.
Yeah,
we weren't really.
Yeah, but I know.
We didn't really
things
communicate
about you,
in high school.
I know things about you, George.
You warn me like, don't make the mistakes you made, George.
No. You know that holiday that you went on?
Yeah.
You'd come back and I'd look you in the eye and be like, "So how was she?" And you'd be like, "What? What? How do you know?"
Yeah, but what if I don't do it in this timeline?
Oh, what if something I do differently?
Yeah, what if you affect me, Frank?
Frank goes on holiday instead. Cook
you are now cooked.
You know, I'd be fine with that.
This is my power. I will use my fucking knowledge of the future to cuck my friends. This is just a bit fucked.
Yeah, but the majority of your friends don't need cooking.
That's true.
Can't do it anyway.
Firstly, while that is true, that's very mean.
I'm an honest guy. If you think the truth is harmful, then you're delusional.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got involved. Well, actually, if I go back in time, I can't. I can't get involved in any relationships.
I mean, you could, but In your
Feel-
mind, it's wrong, but in the world,
It'd
it's
be a
not
bit weird.
technically wrong.
No,
For
yeah,
you, it's
no.
weird, but no one else knows.
Yeah. The world won't know, George, but I'll know. I'll think it's gross and weird.
I don't know. Spending that much time around. Oh God, this sounds awful. I'm not.
Like
Let's
no.
not talk about relationships going back in time. 'Cause that is
Like,
weird. It is very
Which, to be
rapey.
fair, would probably put me in a better place, like education-wise, because my mental state would be a lot better.
I mean, the main thing that I did that wasn't studying was playing video games, but now I've played all those video games, so I'd just be playing things that I've already done.
But you would
I
never
was stopped
hit.
you before. How many times have you played Mass Effect?
He wouldn't be top 500 Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, I wouldn't bother. That I would change that.
You just play
He'd be-
different mode instead.
I'd get into I'd like I said, fucking FIFA, opening FIFA packs, easy money.
Okay.
Buy a cheap TV, throw a chair at it.
When Fortnite first comes out, not the free-for-all, not the Battle Royale, the building game, he'll practice the building in that so that he can get really good at it, so that when it comes out, he can then...
You know the meta straight away.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, fuck school. I'm just going to become an influencer.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Man, I wish
you
I
get
was
less
an
people doing it then as well.
Yeah. I'm going to become an anime YouTuber.
To be fair, at that time, there was only like 4 of them that were any good.
Well, if we're talking
Yeah.
like, what more, 2011. They were
Well,
starting to build it then, but they were small.
Remember,
That's
gotta
like
remember,
peak YouTube time.
at 2011, you're 12.
Yeah.
It's hard to be
I can
I feel
talk
like-
about High School DxD.
at 12 years old.
Yeah.
Sure, you may have watched it, but will people want to watch a 12-year-old talk about it?
I feel like people would find that funny because there'd be other 12-year-olds like me that did the same thing, and they'd want that.
What camaraderie of
Yeah,
a 12-year-old
camaraderie.
degenerates?
Did your voice break by then?
My voice broke when I was young. I think my voice broke
So did mine.
as I was going into high school. It
My
was
voice
same
isn't
year.
broken yet. I don't fucking know.
I sound
Because
cool.
you could just do YouTube with no face cam and they won't even be able to tell that you're a 12-year-old. Just put your
Ooh.
deep voice.
Well, you could do a face cam, Ben, and you've already got a beard.
Yeah.
True.
Ben at 12 was already fully bearded and like.
It won't fall there.
I don't know if I've said this, but on the podcast before, but I remember the first time I saw you, I thought you were a girl.
It's
So I was
got long
sat
hair.
behind you and you had long hair. Yep.
I
Yeah.
get that a lot. I was at work the other day sorting out some stuff, and someone walked into the area I was in to because I had to sort something out with, and they went, "Oh, hello, madam," and I just spun around,
And then they screamed in horror.
and I'm like, "What the fuck?" And it happens all the time with old people because they'll see me with long hair and be like, "Ah, woman," and I'm like, "No, I'm not like trans
See
or
your
anything like that."
curves, and they're like, "Oh, that must be a woman."
They see the fact that my booty be thick and fucking fine, but
Oh, God.
I mean, yeah, I think you're a very voluptuous man.
what does that even mean?
I don't know what voluptuous means, but it sounds cool, doesn't it? It sounds like a sexy word.
Voluptuous, I think, just means like curvy.
Yeah, I think it does as well.
Mhm.
But I cannot confirm.
Oh, so I'd avoid all the drama, but then I'd study better and focus into the things I genuinely like drama, not high school drama, as in the actor. Because that was like, oh man, that was the funnest bit. I loved that.
Yeah.
Being
You have to
part
become
of.
an actor, Frank.
I've been looking into sort of doing once I get through this apprenticeship, doing some of the the amateur sort of setups they've got.
Yeah. Well, it'd be like an extra or something if
Yeah,
you could get on that.
Mm.
yeah, just being an ensemble or something like that. Just being part of a fucking cast.
Oh, it would be cool.
Just because, oh man,
I watched yesterday the entirety of how the first Harry Potter movie was made. I'm like, oh god, I wish I was like in this industry. It's so cool.
I wouldn't even want to be movies. I just want to, man, theatre. I'm a slut for theatre.
Being a panther.
I've never been to a panther.
Oh, we go every year at Boxing Day.
What do you mean you've never been to a panto,
I've been
George?
like to the ones you go to when you're at school. Do you know, like they have a school trip, but that's it.
George, this Christmas we're going to a panto.
Because we're in Whitfield, that's where we go.
Oh, another small town.
Whitfield's massive.
Fair enough. It is quite big, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just gonna stop. We're gonna have to. This is a censorship-heavy episode.
We've given them 3 locations now. They can triangulate.
That's true, actually.
Well, I think I'd hang on different people. Probably try to hang on to you guys.
I remember every time I'd go up to your friends, I'd get hit in the balls.
Yeah.
That was what your friends did. They just hit each other in the balls.
He wasn't my friend.
Which one? Multiple of them did it.
Okay.
I don't know why I hung on to him. I didn't like him.
It's like getting hit in the balls.
No.
Hey, did you like getting hit in balls, man?
No, I didn't.
It was bell
you
tapping,
should.
wasn't it? That was the thing. Because I remember, I'm pretty certain. Was it your friendship group that was patrolling the fucking halls, bell tapping people?
It was that one guy, innit?
Oh, fucking just post their name in the fucking chat. So that I can... What?
Haven.
So we just got to bleep it again.
As long as we just say the first name, it doesn't matter. Do you think they're going to be watching? There were Cavan, Chris. They were main
Okay.
two. Chris is probably on a boat somewhere and doesn't have internet, so he can't fucking be mad. He's probably happy.
He's probably like, oh, they've mentioned me.
Probably done something.
He'll be like, yes, I did bell tap a lot of people. It's the proud. I remember
it made
it.
my time miserable at school, though.
Yeah, but I feel like you got quite a bit of harassment because of your skin colour.
Yeah.
Just
from
people
you,
who
George?
don't want to harass you. Yeah. Did I ever harass you? I feel like I probably did a comment or something when we were younger. But I don't.
Yeah,
I didn't bully
every day from them.
Yeah.
It was pretty miserable.
Yeah, when you're picking friends, Ben, you picked some pretty fucking an odd choice for your situation. I'm not gonna lie.
They say
there was
racial
one person
things
I
to me.
liked at the time because it was like my best friend through like primary school, and I just didn't really. And he started hanging around with them.
Okay, not gonna
lie. And as he was a white person, he wasn't submitted to the torture you were.
Primary school best mates. I don't speak to anyone from my primary anymore. I don't know anyone from my primary.
Do you know who my my primary school best mate was? The same person that asked Ben for a hug.
Yeah.
You know what?
To put that into context, I was on a trip with him. I had to share a double bed with him, and it was being really weird at the time.
You say being weird. He'd just gone through a breakup, like.
Yeah, but he was being very pathetic about it.
That's true.
He sees an amber light on a traffic light and starts crying because the name was Amber.
Remember, Ben, at this point, isn't he a child?
Yeah, Ben.
We were 14 at the time, I think.
That's a child, Ben!
Yeah.
14-year-old will cry over their favourite Minecraft YouTube.
You know what it was like. You know what it was like.
Yeah, but I've got some.
He found out that like the other girl that was on the trip with us, her middle name was Amber, and he started crying over that. He saw a sign that said the word Amber and he started crying because of that.
See what I mean when I said I feel like I'm too old to put up with the shit of teenagers.
We were too old to put up with that at the time.
Oh my god, I'd hate everyone.
See, that's the thing. I don't know if I'd want to try and reach out into the sixth form bubble of people that became friends. Like, because, right, what if my current form, what if they're really annoying right now? Like, that's the thing, right? Because a lot of the people, my friends, because they're younger and dumb, and I wouldn't have realized this at the time, I'd have been just also being young and dumb. But I'd probably be like, shut up.
Remember the memes when we were 12? How bad they are. We have to deal with that for another decade.
We have to put up with me.
We have to put up with old me. Oh, wait, I get to... Yeah, but I get to be
on the
meme.
Raptor meme or like the Keanu Reeves meme.
Oh my god.
We have to deal with all them again.
Velociraptor though is a classic. You
Yeah.
know what? It'd feel like living through the Renaissance. I'd be on the meme curve though, right? Like, right as soon as it turns 2016, I'd start talking about T-posing.
Oh,
Yeah, but what if you
live
start?
through Harambe again.
What if I start referencing memes early by accident?
Yeah, you probably would do.
I'd reference T-posing and people are like, what the fuck do you mean? Or I'd make a Harambe joke and someone would be like, what?
And then he'd come round and you're the meme messiah.
Yeah, I know.
Meme Messiah.
I could save Harambe! I could save Harambe by getting enough...
But do you want to
You'll
save
get him killed
He
sooner
was
by
a
trying to
martyr.
break him out and he'll kill you.
A gorilla... if a gorilla's smiling at you, you need to leave.
Is
That's
it like
just-
Shrek? If Shrek smiles at you, you shouldn't be there.
If a gorilla smiles at you, it's a sign of aggression. And if you
that's
smile
another
back...
meme. Do you remember
What,
Shrek is love, Shrek is life?
Oh my god, that was such a shit meme.
It was so shit. It was more just a video, but
It was just,
yeah.
yes, Shrek fucks me, haha, meme. What? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't want to go back.
Okay.
I think-
well, let's wrap
think
it up.
If I went back, I'd just change what I was studying and focus into things, and probably just avoid the drama. To be fair.
Yeah, I won't be as stressed about everything like exams and drama.
Stressed in high school? I was never stressed. I just breezed through it. I weren't really stressed when I failed in my A levels. I was just like, it is what it is.
My social situation was mainly what was causing me the stress. Not gonna lie. So if I just could tell that to fuck off, I just play video games instead.
Yeah, just
At the time, I wanted to be an architect, and I was stressing about getting the best grades to get into the uni. You needed like 3 years or something.
Yeah.
So I was
How did
pretty
your
stressed.
architecture go, Ben?
Well, I didn't enjoy it, so I won't be as stressed about it, and I'd pick something that I'd actually enjoy.
It's kind of fucked, right? That we turn to like 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds and go, okay, how well you do this year decides your future.
Well, you've still got options, but it definitely makes it a lot easier for the rest of your life.
Which is insane, right? And
yeah,
you're
I was
that
too
much
young
pressure-
to understand it. I was just like, Lunara, poison enemy dies, attack core.
Oh man. Oh my god. I'm just having flashbacks to high school and me getting perfect games in Rumble Pit and Halo Reach. Oh.
I'd have to play Call of Duty again.
I'd get to play. Do you know what I did during for 4 years in high school?
We
right?
need to wrap this up, guys. We're gonna go on a massive tangent with 40 minutes into one question.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Okay, next week I'm just going to talk about Halo for half an hour. That's
no, we
gonna be
just
my
alter the question and do it again. What would you do if you were
Imagine going
reborn?
back. You have to play all your FPSs again, but you'd be on the console. You have to use the controller again.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't invest in a console ever. I'd be like, I'm saving up all my pocket money. I'm buying a computer.
Okay, yeah. All right, save up your pocket money for those 2 years then, right?
It'll be more like 5 years. I got $20 a month.
So, summarize your answer, George, and we'll move on.
I'd go into the internet and become a cool boy on the internet and get a following and not have to worry about going to sixth form or college or anything. I'd just live off of my viewers. Because I've got such a good personality right now that if I take this back to 2011, people will love it.
He says so.
I could be the dry British humour person on YouTube.
Because it'd be early. Because before we already got like 12 of them.
You could probably join the Oxcast.
Yeah. And then get kicked out of it.
Why would you get kicked out, George?
Flirting with fans.
I was hoping you could go like, I'm just too Chad, like stripping.
Yeah, that would have been a better answer.
I just you and stripping walking around the office, just like, oh man.
Okay, next question. I think is George's question.
So my question is, do you think cars will ever be replaced? Could be replaced by anything. So I think cars are pretty optimal. They include the wheel, and I'm not gonna lie, the wheel's a good invention. There's a reason we've been using wheels for a long time.
I think for like long distance travel, traveling between cities, they could probably get replaced by something else.
Yeah, but you still need it for the short distance. Would they just have say if we had a shuttle system around the Earth, do you think they'd just have shuttles to places and then you have public transport when you're in a local area? And they're just no one gets a personal car now. Too much pollution. Even though they're electric now.
Genuinely, George? I don't think it'd ever happen. I don't think the car as we know it, it might change, but it would never get completely gotten rid of. Because if you think about it, the car as we know it is just a changed version of a horse and cart.
Yeah.
And
we could go back to horse and cart.
Yeah, and that's just a changed version of a cart being pulled by people. Like, ever since we've had the wheel, we've had a form of car.
Yeah, but you never know, Frank. We might discover the queel, which is a wheel but better.
Even then, that's just a car with a more efficient movement system.
Maglev, magnetic levitation.
I'd argue.
What if we just all drove around on what's his face, General Grievous's ring bike?
The ring bike. The thing is that the car is just efficient. Like, I just don't think we'd ever lose the car, if you understand.
Yeah, but things are constantly changing. Technology is constantly changing. We might find something that's more efficient than a car, and then we start.
Yeah, but whatever it is that's more efficient.
Have you seen the Hyperloop? Have you heard of that?
I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
Hyperloop.
I don't know. Do tell me more, good sir.
It's essentially a monorail, but in a pressurized tube.
Oh.
So do you know how a monorail works? It uses a maglev technology. So it levitates on a rail magnetically. So that reduces friction, so it can go even faster. But it's in a pressurized tube as well, so it's like a partial vacuum. So that means there's little to no air drag, so you can go even faster.
While that's true, monorails are much less efficient than just having train tracks.
This is a lot faster.
Yeah, but you've got to lay train tracks.
Yes, but while it's a lot...
They're planning on building one from Abu Dhabi to Dubai. That's normally a 2-hour drive. This is going to bring it down to 12 minutes.
Well, that is true. That is true. That is fucking ridiculous, actually.
Yeah. The Virgin's building a load, and I think they're planning on doing 2 in the UK. One from Liverpool to Glasgow, and another one from Edinburgh to London. So,
where the fuck's that going to go through, though?
Edinburgh to London will go through.
I don't know. They've worked it out with urban planners and shit like that. So,
is it just a straight line? Have they just drawn a line across the map and gone, okay, here?
Maybe.
I think it is
I
actually
imagine
going...
to follow the train track route.
I were actually looking this up because I was looking at where it would be built when I was looking for houses, and it's actually, I think if I've got the right one, it's going to go very close to us.
Oh, actually?
Yeah, close. We'd probably be able to hear it if it was a loud thing.
It wouldn't be loud though, because it's in a pressurized tube.
If it's in a vacuum, then it won't make any noise technically.
Yeah.
But I feel like IMO, if that train breaks down anywhere along that route,
what?
It's in a vacuum tube, right?
It's fine though, because they can section off it and they can pressurize it if they need to.
Okay.
What happens if someone falls out? Just fucking dead.
How do they fall out?
Honestly, don't get out of a train when it moves. That's your own.
What happens if you fall out of a train?
Yeah, but there's malfunctions and stuff. What if a door opens and sucks someone out?
Well, that's the same with a train or a plane or anything.
Yeah, but if you're in a vacuum, you're going to get sucked out. If you're in a train, you're not going to get sucked out.
When you're in a plane, you'll get sucked out.
Where one of the issues that people have with monorails is that they are very good at being doing one route passenger systems. If you're wanting multiple routes going through a station, you want regular train tracks.
Well, with this Hyperloop, it's essentially you all get your own pod, and it will go inside like this train thing.
Oh, so it would be a little bit like Futurama.
It's
with the
you,
cheats.
you kind of like get your own car that like will go inside this train, and then you go on the hyperloop.
Isn't that just like the Boring Company? You just get a car and drive around in tunnels that they're making.
That sounds
Not
very
really.
elaborate.
But I looked at the one that they were doing in like, the Abu Dhabi to Dubai one, and you get like this. They call it a pod, but it's like a car. It can go on the roads.
Yeah.
But then it also goes into the station, and then it enters the monorail train, and then you go on Hyperloop.
It feels like we probably wouldn't need that car setup. It just feels like, especially because it's made in Dubai, I feel like that whole monorail system is a flex.
It's not just Dubai. Like Elon Musk first came up with the idea in like 2012 or something.
That's
and
true. But
he
Elon
couldn't
Musk
get the
likes to come
funding.
up with random weird ideas.
There's loads of different companies building it across the world. I'm just the Dubai one was just an example.
Okay, monorails have always felt they're less versatile than just having trains, in my opinion.
Well, they're pretty much the same as trains.
Because have you seen how so you know how trains can move tracks, you can divert trains quite easily, you can sort of do a lot of stuff to deal with a delay.
You could do that with a monorail.
Monorail changes.
It's not exactly a monorail. It's just like looks a bit like one.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
A monorail change of tracks takes a lot longer than just a regular train. A regular train can take its turn at about 60 miles an hour. So it slows down to about 60 to take the turn. A monorail has to come to a complete stop. Which
I don't know if that's true, but I'm gonna.
I was looking into trains. George, I spent like an hour the other day just watching train videos and like the fucking strengths of monorails versus trains. I don't know why I did this. There was nothing in my system. I was eating a sandwich. I was just sat there. I saw it pop up in my recommenders, and you're like, you know what? What is the issues with monorails, YouTube? Let's find out. And
it does sound quite interesting.
Now I'm a traditional rail enthusiast.
Shall we all
monorail
train watching? Not like the movie.
I've never seen the movie. I'm assuming it's about watching trains.
No, it's about doing drugs.
It's doing drugs.
What?
Have you never seen Train Spotting? That's what it's called.
I haven't seen it.
Because I thought it was a movie about watching trains.
Yeah, them like doing meth or something.
Yeah.
That's not Train Spotting.
I can't remember. It's been a long time since I've watched it, but it's like a colloquialism for doing drugs or something. Train spotting. I can't remember.
Is it because the only way train spotting?
You're right there, Frank.
Sorry, is it because the only way train spotting could be enjoyable is if you are on several forms of drugs?
You can't say that. I feel like train spotting would be enjoyable, but we can't go anywhere to spot trains at the moment. I'm going to say watch trains because train spotting is probably an actual term for doing drugs.
Yeah, but
I think train spotting is just a term for looking at trains.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a movie called Train Spotting that's about doing drugs.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Go back to cars though.
I just feel like cars might change, but
what if everyone had their own exoskeleton that allowed them to run really fast?
What if you wanted to bring your kids with you somewhere?
They've got their exoskeleton. They could just run alongside you.
If your child is very small, but also an exoskeleton.
It's only like buying them a child bike.
Also, an exoskeleton that runs is still moving you.
Yes.
Yeah, but it doesn't use as much energy as you normally would.
Yeah, but you'll only feel the force if you accelerate really fast. So if you accelerate up slowly, you're fine. It's exactly the same as being on a car or being on a train.
Moving after a while, you'd get tired. Like
it's only like riding a bike.
Yeah, and guess what? People don't ride bikes everywhere.
You've got
a lot of places.
Yeah, but like
it depends how far you want to travel.
Yeah, so if you're wanting to go on like a car ride that would take you like hour and a half.
Well, you'd use a different form of travel, like Hyperloop.
Yeah, but for a lot of people, having the car to get there, it's that independence about it, isn't it?
Yeah, but I
Like,
feel
sure,
the
you can rely on public transport, but
we like the car though because we know what it is, we understand it, we're used to it, we've had it for so long. But there could be better solutions, and I think it would be really cool just to have like Futurama tubes everywhere.
but again, that's more public transit. Because
Yeah.
even in Futurama, people have cars because everyone's got their own fucking
Yeah, but
spaceship.
if public transport was that efficient, then you wouldn't need your own personal transport.
That's true, but there would
Public
still
transport would do it all.
Yeah, that's not really replacing the car though, because the car would still exist.
Well, not if the public transport wasn't a car. I mean, it still exists, but I'm not saying we completely get rid of the car, but at the moment, the car is the most dominant.
Does a
form of
flying
transport.
car count as a car?
I'd argue yes.
I wouldn't say. You see,
So
we
what is
call it a flying car just
Isn't it a
because.
plane?
Yeah, we call it a flying car because we're used to using cars. But
Is
What
it
if
a car?
everyone got
remotely a
helicopters?
Well, if everyone got helicopters,
Yeah.
the fucking world would be so noisy, Ben. You're just. I'm like, I can't sleep. I can't
A
sleep.
car's not noisy.
They're less noisy than a fucking helicopter. Why did I say George? I got angry and called you George. You said such a dumb thing. I was like, no, this isn't Ben. This is a George idea. George has done something here.
It would be noisy, but you gotta make it be cool.
I've seen a concept where you can get this massive drone attachment to go on top of your car.
What?
What? So
So
Amazon.
you know, like how drones look. You got like those 4 propellers.
Yeah.
Think of like a bigger scale one of them, and it goes on top of your car.
Does it like fold out, and then when you're not doing it, it folds in?
It like grabs your
No,
car
it's.
and lifts you up.
I think it's more of like you got an app, and you say you want the drone, and it'll come over and just like go on top of your car.
What if someone
That sounds
hacks?
ridiculous.
What if someone hacks the drones to steal your car? What if you're just right? It's the middle of the night. You hear the drone coming near to your house. You're like, "What's going on?" You look outside. The drone flies over, picks up your car, and leaves.
I'm
And you're
sure
like,
there's some sort of like safety protocols. No. Maybe you need to like allow it when you sat inside the car.
There's facial recognition before it
like
activates the drone.
I feel like
Maybe.
there's so many layers of like shit that could go wrong there. That it's like a Black Mirror episode waiting to happen.
On
I mean,
everything,
that
there's
could
so
go
many
wrong
layers
in-
of shit that can go wrong.
Exactly.
That's true.
Any
but I
kind
don't
of
like.
public transport.
What's the diff? We're talking about like hacking your drone to steal your car. What happens when someone smashes your window of your car, gets in your car, and drives off in it?
I feel like that's much more
Yeah.
mundane in my head.
And it's a
than
lot
drone.
easier. It's a lot more
Drone
accessible because
coming
you don't
in
need
and
to learn how to
leaving with
hack a drone. You just break
You
into a
can
car.
hear
and
the
take
drone
it.
coming.
You can hear the chav coming that's coming to break your car up.
It was so you fine then. It's exactly the same circumstance.
Oh, I just don't feel
Just
it'd ever
park
get
your car in your garage.
I just don't feel the car would ever get truly replaced. That's sure it might become less prominent, but I feel like
Well, if it's not like the majority, like the most majority transport, then it's being replaced by something else. Because at the moment, I don't know if it's actually true, but I reckon the car is the most
the
used.
car
form of
is the
transport.
majority, but that isn't just because say the car is the most efficient. Especially, it entirely depends on a lot. Well, it depends on a lot of factors. The reason why the car is so much more efficient in the UK is because our road system is designed with cars in mind first, not public transportation, which is actually this didn't just naturally come about. It was actually an active change in, I believe, the 60s, 70s. Thatcher, I know, put a lot of time and effort into it. That's why the tram network got just gutted. Like we used to have trams all across.
Trams though.
We used to have trams all across the UK. There used to be trams just everywhere.
I think Sheffield's still got them.
Yeah,
Manchester's
Sheffield's
still got them.
Nottingham has some. There's a little bit of London that has it, but like not enough for it to actually matter. But that's because London's a fucking awful mess of boroughs and like different planning permissions you need. Do you know if you want to make a ring road around London, you have to get permission from, I believe it's 11 different councils.
Well,
So
that
that's
makes
why
sense.
because
There's a lot of people there. A lot of people you're affecting.
Yeah, because London's so densely populated, it's got like 33 boroughs or 32, something like that. And they're basically each the size of a town up in the north.
No.
Which is insane. Like, it's like Sheffield is about population equivalent to one borough in London, which is mental.
Why don't we just form our own, the capital of the north?
What? Yorkshire? Well, there's the Northern Independence Party that I saw last time fucking votes were going around. I'm like, what? Where are we? Because in my head, I'm like, wait,
off, boys.
because what if the North secedes and then, but before Scotland does? Because then there's just a bit in the middle of the UK that's no longer there.
Why don't we just split up into like
reform the Danelaw?
Mercia, Danelaw?
I mean, it's
split
entirely
into
possible.
duchies.
Because you can make the argument that the
Dismantle
south
the Kingdom of England and just make it all duchies.
You can make the argument that the south of the of England doesn't have the best interests of the north in mind.
Well, no, it doesn't. Why would it?
Exactly.
If you're gonna put the interest of where the people are, and
can we go
most
about
people are down
cars?
south.
Why are we getting so political about the independence of Yorkshire?
I don't know, but now I don't know.
Cars.
Wait, but George, are we like synonymous on a political ideology right now? Are we like?
Well, that's just how politics works. You support where you are. So, say if I were born in London, I'd support London. I'm born in Yorkshire, I'll support Yorkshire because it's where I'm from. It's where I live. It affects me.
I get that. Makes
sense.
Just
how it works.
Okay, so cars.
Yeah.
Before we start making a manifesto.
If everyone gets motorbikes instead.
Yeah, no, that's stupid.
I feel like I don't motorbikes. I don't know. I feel like I'd like to ride a motorbike.
Oh, I don't think I would. The car.
It's less efficient. Like if it was raining.
Think how much more room you'd have on roads.
While that is true, I wouldn't want loads of motorbikers really close to each other.
It would be like, have you ever seen in like
gangs?
Do you ever see in like Vietnam in like between 2000 and 2010 when they first started getting bikes? Well, they had bikes, but they first started getting cars. But because they were recently getting imported, the like inflation on them was ridiculous and no one could afford them. And it's literally just you've got these roads that are built for cars, and you've just got loads and loads of bikes on it, and it's just a big like mosh pit of bikes.
Yeah.
There's no structure to it at all. It's just everyone's just sort of driving about.
Well, it's like roads in a lot of like less developed nations. Like if they've got the road structure but they don't have the enforcement situation, it's like I've never been to India, but from a lot of people who I've spoken to have been there. Like my nan, well, it was my nana and granddad mainly, and they were just like, the roads there are insane. It's terrifying because people just take random turns. Like, there's no indication. There's like, and it's just mental.
The same
well, in America, you can turn right on a red light.
You can what?
You can turn right on a red light.
Where?
In America.
Fucking what?
Yeah, you can turn right on a red light.
Also, in a lot of places in America, they don't have amber lights. It just goes from green to red.
No, you should move to that country.
You should have gone. You should have gone there on the trip.
I should probably think shut up about this person. I don't want to talk about him. Shouldn't have brought up Amber, Ben. God, you're going to set him off crying.
Just if he listens.
It'd be funny if he did listen. He'd know it with him as well.
Of course he would.
Well, yeah, I was the only other person that he was the only other boy on that trip.
Male.
He's also he probably would remember. He probably still remembers the name as well.
Yeah, how could he forget?
Okay. Cars, I think there's a lot of people who are just like in love with the cars as well and love driving them.
I feel like that's going down a lot because when cars first came around, the people who had cars were people who were interested in cars. Now, I'm not necessarily that interested in cars. Are you, Ben?
Well, no, but I never have been. But I know there's a lot of people that are.
There's still a lot of people, but cars now have just become a necessity. It's not something people necessarily want.
Is there a situation where how efficient will public transportation have to be for you to get rid of your car?
I think teleporters have to be there for a lot of people.
If I lived with my girlfriend and I lived within walking distance of a gym, I won't need a car. That's it. I just wouldn't need it because I work from home. The only time I leave the house is when I go to see my girlfriend or when I go to the gym. Everything else I could happily fit around public transport. If I wanted to go into the centre of Leeds, for example, I don't even drive there because how do you find parking in Leeds?
I hate driving there. Even when you do find parking, it's really expensive. It's cheaper to get a bus ticket than it is to park.
That's why I don't like driving places, because there's cars everywhere now, so you can't park unless you pay a ridiculous amount of money for parking.
Yeah, if I go to Leeds, I drive to my nearest train station and just get a train there. So it costs me £3 to get a train ticket. Whereas this costs me like over £5 to get a parking spot.
And that parking spot's for what, an hour?
Yeah.
So you've got a time limit on how long you can be there.
Whereas I can just get any day return for £3.
The only time I ever drive to places is if I've got a hotel there and the hotel has parking. Yeah. Else I'll get a hotel, but I'll get the train to the city centre and then find my way to a hotel from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to go somewhere again.
Yeah, we do, but we can't at the moment. Well, we could, but we'd get there, get pinged by the NHS app, and then be like, "Oh wait, you've got to isolate."
We'd walk into the convention centre. Everyone's app would ping, and it's like, "Oh, okay."
Do you think anyone would care at a convention?
No, but
the being cosplay like, no, you pinged Levi Ackerman. I am now not Levi Ackerman.
I think fursuits act like hazard suits.
No, if anything, they make you more prone to disease. Do you know what they do in those fursuits, Ben?
Oh no.
What do they do in those fursuits? I don't know.
You can find information online in your local.
I don't think all furries do that.
I am not one to paint a whole culture with one brush. But I'll make an exception.
You just did.
I'm going to make an exception for furries.
Go against furries. All the furries I've ever met have been quite nice.
Okay. I can name one furry that I know you're not too fond of.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I don't like them. I forgot they were a furry. Yeah, but I don't like them because it's not because they're a furry, it's because of what they do to one of our friends.
Should we wrap up this cards question now?
Yeah, I feel like we've said everything.
I feel like I don't think anything will truly replace cars. Cars might change, they might become less prominent, but I reckon cars are always going to be there.
Yeah, but if they change, they're not cars anymore now. They've been replaced by that.
That's true, but I
big brain.
In sort of the knowledge of the car is just an advanced form of cart. And carts have been a thing since like the dawn of human civilization.
Yeah, but carts don't require gasoline or diesel.
Yeah. And an electric car doesn't either.
Yeah, but it requires electricity.
Yeah. And a cart requires energy as well. It requires someone pulling it.
Yeah.
Which is still energy.
Yeah, but you can easily replace that with food.
Yeah, you can biofuel.
Yeah, just grind up humans to make electricity.
Or have a lot of squirrels running around in a fucking spinning thing. Like,
whoa, you can't enslave the squirrel race.
Yes, I can and will.
If you think about it, that is slavery.
They're animals, George. You can't enslave an animal, otherwise farms are fucked up. Zoos also.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't class as... Okay. That's another can of worms.
Like, right. I don't think cars are ever going to truly disappear.
Are pets slaves?
Well, I don't think the car's going to get replaced, personally. I just want to see your guys' inputs. I nearly spilled coffee all over the keyboard.
I think public transport will become more efficient, and then that'll be used more for like long distance travel and commutes. Whereas for short distance travel, like to get to the public transport or just doing local things to keep the cars, I don't think we'd ever truly get rid of them.
Smaller and more efficient.
I don't think they'd ever truly get rid of them unless like teleportation technology comes out,
Oh,
feel like-
which is very unlikely.
I
I
won't
wouldn't
lie.
want to teleport though.
Teleporting sounds fucking terrifying.
You get
'Cause
But if you know that it's
dismantled in one
completely
place.
safe, you know,
Yeah,
it's
but there's.
completely-
I'm betting. There's a.
Yeah, but if you
there's a-
dismantle yourself and reassemble yourself, is it you?
I think that's the bit that'd fuck
Or
with
is
me.
it a
if it becomes
clone of you?
mainstream, if it becomes mainstream
if
and
it
is
became
used, then that's totally when you'd get rid of cars.
Oh, I
Yeah.
still don't want to use it, even if it's mainstream. I'll be honest.
Oh, well, that can be another question one day. We use
Is teleportation ethical?
Is it
Okay.
possible?
Well,
Okay, Frank's
Right.
question.
Oh, my question, which is, okay, so you are going to have to move. You are going to have to move to a country outside of the United Kingdom. Which country do you pick? So you can't pick anywhere in the UK, but you have to move to a different country in the world.
does
Technically,
the
you
country
can pick
have to
Ireland.
accept me, or can there be, or am I just gonna get accepted? Or
You
they should
have
be
a
like,
visa,
yeah,
you
George,
can
come to
go
our
there.
country.
You pass the immigration thing. You're allowed in.
Do I become a citizen, or is I like, am I
You're a
like on a
citizen. You're a
working
citizen.
visa?
You got a visa. You got all your shit. You're in. But
You are just permanently living in that country now.
you just live
Can I
there
not go
now.
on holiday to other countries?
I mean, yeah, but
You can go on
you're a
holiday.
citizen there.
Hawaii.
Why?
Because I'm in the middle of nowhere and I don't have to give a fuck about the world.
I mean, Hawaii's quite populated.
I know, but it's populated by the people on the island.
Okay,
The only other people left to see are tourists.
Okay,
Do you like seeing tourists?
I'm sure I could learn to deal with them.
Okay.
how many
I
people do
think
you
it'd be
reckon live on
cool.
Hawaii?
I don't know. That's a
Uh,
question for Google.
10,000.
10,000. That's not a lot of people.
It's not a big island.
No, it's not.
1.4 million.
1.4 million, okay.
Okay. Maybe
bigger
not
than I
Hawaii.
thought.
That's quite densely packed, actually.
There's
I
like
want them
4
to
or
be
5 islands
isolated.
basically. So, and there's 1.4 million.
I
basically.
know. I've played Pokemon.
I'm guessing most of it's in Honolulu.
Probably. Honolulu. Then there's zoom in Google Maps. Then there's the island of Hawaii itself, and then Honolulu. Wait, you're telling me the capital of Hawaii isn't on the island of Hawaii? You fucking what?
Well, it might have been that Hawaii was the first named place there, so it just sort of stuck.
I believe it's technically
If it ain't broken, don't fix it.
It's the kingdom of Hawaii because it was all conquered by a dude.
Oh.
They were initially each of the islands had different tribes on them. It's a really cool bit of history. It feels like really fantastical. Like because it's like for those guys, it was the whole world that he ruled. But then
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine just being that far away from everything. It'd be nice. I think it'd be nice.
Okay.
Why do you hate being around us, George? What the fuck?
You'd understand if you had to be around yourself, Frank.
Just remember, if you're in Hawaii, do you have to deal with all the American laws?
I don't
Yeah,
know
they
the
are.
American laws.
And you
Yeah,
also
but what
deal
are they
with
going to do?
no
Fly someone out
healthcare.
to America from America to
Oh
prosecute?
yeah, no
them? They're like,
healthcare.
No
If you get-
healthcare.
You gotta pay for fucking health insurance now, George.
The last time I went to the doctors was I can't remember.
Yeah,
Yes,
but what
but
when you get older and you start having
Then
health problems?
I'll die happy.
What?
I, I don't want to just prolong my life to live longer. If my body's falling apart, well, guess what? It's falling apart.
So you're just not going to use medicine?
I'd use medicine, but when I get to the point where I'm like, yeah, I don't want to live anymore, I'm just not enjoying it.
That's
then
not what we're saying. We're saying, like, you know, when you just get ill, you have to pay loads to get some medicine.
I don't
Yeah.
really use medicine anyway.
if you get caught in an
That's
accident,
because you're
you
not
gotta
ill.
pay.
What about
Yeah.
when you get ill?
Well, I don't know. I've never been ill.
This is
Oh.
the argument people make for not having healthcare. This is
It'll
infuriating.
fit in fine in America, then what?
Yeah, fuck it. You know what? Go to America then, dickhead.
Yeah, but what other country than the UK has free healthcare? I don't actually know.
Canada, the
Canada,
Scandinavian countries, I think.
nearly everyone in Europe. Has a national
Does
health
does
service.
I'd say
Australia,
Sweden
New
because it has a good
Zealand?
educational system, but you know what? I've already been through education.
Australia, I believe Australia does
What about
actually.
for your kids?
Well, I don't know. I don't think that far ahead yet.
Okay.
You think I struggle to think about what I'm gonna do with this week.
Yeah, public healthcare system is free in Australia. They have an NHS.
And I assume so in New Zealand as well.
It's actually quite funny. Nearly every first world country has a free healthcare system. Like one of the only major countries that doesn't have one is the US.
I feel like Germany would be cool.
I thought you wanted like Japan or something.
There's two.
It's I think culturally,
Japan's.
it's very different.
From what I've
Maybe
heard,
too much of a
Japan's
culture
hard to
shock.
live in if you're not Japanese, or if you're not Japanese. And
Yeah.
I don't want a hard time just existing in the world. Yeah.
You don't like being a minority.
Like
Is that
Japan
what
would be
saying?
cool, but what happens when I get that used to it that it's just the norm?
Yeah.
Then I've just got to do with
Japan
all
is
the.
somewhere you'd like to visit, not live.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to live there. Unless I live there for like a year, maybe, or something like that. But I don't think there's too much. It's too different.
Yeah, culturally, it would be a big culture. I'd like the idea of Australia, but anytime I put a shoe on, there's a chance of me dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't think like that if you're now Australian.
Well, I now have to just be immediately like.
You just have to be a man, Frank.
I have to be the guy from Team Fortress 2, Saxton Hale, where that's what I assume everyone in Australia acts like. I assume Australia exists as it does in the Team Fortress universe, where everyone is 6 foot tall and ripped and beats up coyotes.
Is that what happened in Team Fortress 2? I just played the scout and shot people with a shotgun.
Oh my god, read the comics. It's fucking amazing.
Why would I want to read the Team Fortress 2 comics? That doesn't sound like something I want to do.
George, believe me, you want to read the Team Fortress 2 comics.
I don't want to read the Team Fortress 2
There's like 5 of them, and they're fucking amazing.
No.
I'm so upset.
The problem with this question is I don't know enough about other countries. I just don't know. What's a good country?
What do you want from your country?
Lawlessness. A dictator.
All right.
I want to be governed by a dictator.
On the map, I just kind of swung over to Africa, and now I'm just looking there. Like, is Chad?
What about Namibia?
I'm not sure.
I think Namibia's actually quite stable.
It's not south of America.
Go to the best dictatorship and go to North Korea.
Yeah, but why would I want to go to North Korea, Ben?
Because you said you wanted to live in a dictatorship.
It was a joke. God, guys.
Did you know if you were living in North Korea, do you know what they do with the sort of the white people that live in North Korea?
What?
Is it like the killing fields?
Do they treat them really well?
They get to be movie stars. No. So in North Korean movies, the villains are always like an American. So all the American defectees get to play villains in North Korean movies. Which, to be fair, that sounds pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie.
You wanted to get into acting, Frank.
Yeah. Oh!
Maybe this is your chance.
I could go to North Korea and play a villain.
Send North Korea an email, see if they want you to be an actor.
What's North Korea's email address?
I'll Google it.
The North Korean government's email address. I'll send them a fax with my resume on it.
So it's like an AOL account.
The Democratic People's Republic of Korea does have contact information online.
Oh my god, have they got a phone number?
They've got a telephone number, yeah, they actually do.
Wait, are you telling me I can phone the North Korean government?
You can. They've got an address. It's just all the details. They have got a email. I'm not going to say it.
What?
They've got different ones. You can do the Copyright Office. You can do the Intellectual Properties Office, Industrial Property Office,
Immigration Office. So, what kind of qualifications do I need to get a work visa?
I have an A-level in drama. Make me an actor.
Yeah.
Why did you sound sad when I mentioned your A-level in drama?
Because I didn't actually get it.
Oh,
I remember the mental breakdown I had, and I just couldn't. I
thought
dropped
you
out.
had it. Oh.
No, I completely dropped out. Well,
Ah.
yeah, I didn't get anything out of my A levels.
Apart from 2 years of sadness, happiness.
Yeah, that's all I got really. I just
You're
got
not
2
getting
years.
AS?
I got like a couple. I got my ASs, but like they don't fucking count for anything. So I might as well have just shat in my hand, like for all the good it did me.
How much have you gotten out of your A levels? Because I've gotten none out of mine. I haven't got my jobs
I don't
because of
have
my
any.
A levels.
Russia is fucking huge. Sorry, I'm looking at the map.
Yeah, it's the biggest in the world.
I feel like I'd have to go somewhere that speaks English as a primary language.
I feel like South America would be cool.
South America, really?
Yeah.
I don't think the living conditions are that great down there.
Yeah, but it's quickly developing. You'd be caught up in a.
I guess it depends which country you go to.
I feel like I'd like
You wouldn't
Canada.
want to do the northern ones because there's a lot of cartels there. Isn't there?
Oh, what's wrong with Bolivia?
Well, it's just that. Well, no, he did say he wanted lawlessness.
I guess.
That was a joke, guys.
I think Canada could be a good place.
Canada, yeah. As
Because
long as
the most speak English, but there's French-speaking provinces.
well, there's Quebec and stuff like that. That's like French Canada, isn't it?
Yeah, you can just live in the English part.
Yeah.
I'm sure they love being called French Canada.
Well, they probably do.
Well, they should call themselves. It's the French Canadian regions.
Yeah. Oh, is it
Yeah.
actually? Oh,
French
I thought that
Canadian.
was just you calling them French.
No.
Canadian.
It's because they were originally the French colonies over there.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And to be fair, Canada's quite beautiful.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Yeah, but every country's beautiful if you look hard enough.
But Canada
but the
is
lakes,
especially.
The lakes, man.
You like lakes? Live in Scotland.
We're not allowed to. It's part of the UK.
It currently is part of the UK.
What if they leave the UK?
Then I guess, according to this
Then it's
question,
open, but at the time of recording, they're still in the UK.
I feel like Scotland would be cool.
If Scotland left the UK, do you reckon you'd get a bunch of people from the UK
migrating from the UK to Scotland?
There's a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, what about what Boris is trying to do right now? He's trying to privatise the NHS.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of people will be moving
on this.
Let's not. I won't. I'm going to avoid getting political currently, as we've already gotten political earlier. I'm reserving myself to one political spat. However, I'm just going to say the word cunt, and that's just going to be me explaining the situation.
Because I feel like national healthcare is a big thing for what country I'd like to live in.
It's almost like, but the thing is,
Ben.
Why am I saying George every fucking time? What am I doing?
Because we've played a lot of video games this week.
That's
and you've
true.
not played any video games with Ben.
That is true. It's just, I think most countries, most developed nations in the world do have national healthcare. So it's not even something you really have to worry about. Like,
yeah, don't worry about it, guys.
The reason why we don't, when we look out at the rest of the world and think the NHS is special, is because
it's just America.
It's just America. It is just America that treats its own citizens like this. It's America has this. What it is it's, it's a value on your life depending on how rich you are. That's what it is in America. If you are poor, you will die.
It feels like that's everything in America, though, as someone who's never been to America. But that's the way it's portrayed. It's money is everything.
Well, because it's capitalism gone wild, and that's not me being like communism. That's me being like the very idea of any form of socialist policy in government, and by that I mean things like nationalized healthcare, regulating on governments, regulating on businesses, unions and stuff like that. They're seen as anti-American, which is leftover stuff from the Cold War. Like the very idea, the very suggestion of free healthcare in America is seen as this communist ideal of like, yes, if we do that, then Stalin will come in. It's like, that's not how that works, mate. It's like having a bus doesn't mean the Soviets are coming. It just means we've got some public transit.
You know, one argument that sounds stupid they always make. It's like they always say, "Oh, I don't want to pay extra money in taxes for something I won't use," but then they're fine with paying money for insurance that they probably won't use.
Yeah,
it's the same thing.
They make the argument of, "Oh, it's not it's not an option anymore." I'm like,
we're in too deep.
Oh,
yeah.
It basically any argument against national healthcare is from people that don't understand the situation and are being misinformed, or they're the medical companies in America who don't want that because
Big Pharma.
Yeah.
In that video game.
So we're not going America. Is that what we've decided?
Yeah, I mean, George Woods goes to Hawaii.
I just said it as a win, man, because it sounds cool, doesn't it? I'm from Hawaii. I surf. I'm sure they don't just do that.
Surf in like Australia.
Oh, yeah, but Australia's just a...
And then you can be even cooler because you're
fighting. The problem with Australia, the majority of it is just a big desert.
You don't have to live in a desert, though, do you?
No, but what if I want to go on a commute to a nice place? I'll just go.
Yeah. Well, you just go on a commute.
I'll drive 4 hours to go see Uluru.
Yeah, but you're not gonna do that every day, are you? That's just like a woman.
Well, I'd like to.
The fact that Uluru's got no food tiles near it really fucked the generation there. They couldn't even settle next to it to get those wonder bonuses.
Oh yeah, let's take it out of context. Which civilization would you like to be in Civ? That'll answer what country you want to be. What buffs do you get?
Oh wait, we're in Canada. I can't declare war on people.
Yeah, they can't declare war on you, and you get.
Well, you can. You just can't surprise them.
I have to be very open. Yeah, but what's the point in a fucking... Okay, I won't lie. If I turn around to someone and go, I'm going to declare war on you in 10 turns, then they turn their army around. I'm like, well, now this is going to be a really annoying war. I don't understand.
But then you don't declare war on them, then the other country looks like dicks for marching an army on you.
Oh, but then they just crush me then.
Feel like provoking a war and then blaming
but then they have to start the war. They have to formally declare.
Okay, George, firstly, provoking a war and then blaming it on the other person when I lose is my Civ strategy. Actually, I'll have you know.
Yeah, I do know. I've played Civ with you. And then you get upset when you've been killed.
Well, yeah, because Civ, for me, is a game where you spend 6 hours building up, and then you just get cooked, and you're like,
And then you declare war on Ben, and Ben kills you, and you're like, how did you kill me?
After we've had a lines for the entire game as well.
Well, yeah, because I know Ben's gonna win. Like, Ben will outstrip me in culture or science, and I know he's gonna hit that victory faster than I can hit mine. So my only option to stop him is a military action. Ben kills me in the military action.
But whenever you have this revelation, you always declare on George instead of me.
Well, because fuck George.
I would.
Oh, God. Countries. I think one of the Scandinavian countries or Iceland.
Ooh, they do actually speak a lot of English, though.
Yeah. I mean, I'd always make an effort to try and learn the language.
Yes, but assuming you're going there now, it's good to have some people there know you can communicate with.
They've also got some of the lowest crime rates as well in the world. Iceland's number one. Iceland's number one, and Denmark's number 5.
Oh, that's cute.
I just thought, could I go to like Guernsey or Jersey? Because they're actually French, but they're just...
Jersey's
if
UK,
they're owned by the UK.
Is it? Oh, Guernsey's.
Jersey's owned by the UK. Don't call it French, otherwise
is it part of the UK?
Yeah, Guernsey, I think, is part of the UK.
I don't think Guernsey is. Jersey is, but I don't know if Guernsey is.
Jersey is, but it's like Jersey is, but it's like a quarter of a mile off the French coast.
It's part of the British Isles.
Yeah,
but not the UK.
It's quite funny how upset France is.
It's the British Crown dependency.
Yeah,
we own it
just to piss off the French. We own it just to make the French pissed off. That's the only reason we own it.
I could live on the island that pisses off the French.
Well, no, it's part of Britain.
Ah.
Part of the UK.
It's not part of the UK.
Oh, is it not?
It's a crown dependency, but it's not part of the UK. It's just part of the British Isles.
Fucking the amount of overlap. I fucking hate the way that the British Isles, the UK, and Britain works. Fuck off. It infuriates me.
Yeah.
Like, because there's Britain, which is just Scotland, Wales, and England. There's the British Isles, which includes a couple of basically all the islands, and the UK, which includes Northern Ireland. Have I got that right?
I don't know anymore.
Oh, we
What, do
could
you
live in
think I am
Ireland. Oh, actually, I
English?
don't know if we could live in Ireland. I am English.
Good.
Like, I feel like that. I don't know. I feel like I'd be having to apologise a lot, you know,
How do you have to apologise a lot if you live in Ireland?
because I'm English, and I mean, I'd probably have to open every situation where, like, when I open my mouth, because I've got quite the distinct accent.
I wouldn't say your accent's distinct in any way.
Well, you know what I mean, though. Like, you can tell from when I speak that I'm English quite quickly.
I thought you were French.
I like how it took you that long to work out a country. I could see you listing them in your head. For some reason, in my head, you went Scotland first and then skipped it. Is that correct?
No, I was thinking German, but I was like, no, I ain't got that German.
Twang.
I wasn't going to use the term twang because I don't like the word twang. It doesn't sound
twang.
Nice. I just don't like the way of twang sounds. It doesn't sound like a nice thing to be saying about a language. You've got I just don't like the word.
It just doesn't sound like a word, to be fair.
It sounds like.
Okay. Let's wrap it up.
Okay. So I'm thinking Canada. Not gonna lie. To be fair, Ireland wouldn't be too bad. It's a very nice place, and from what I've heard, the people are quite friendly.
Yeah. I think I feel like a coin toss between like Canada or like Sweden.
Ooh, Sweden.
Yeah, because Sweden's a very beautiful country.
That's
and
true.
the Scandinavian countries are.
I do really like the Canadian accent, though. Like, it's just very nice. I just like it.
Oh, do you know what else I just thought of? Because I was thinking like European countries. I just thought when I went to Spain and I took a coach, they've got on the motorway, they've got constant like what do they call them? Toll booth things where you've got to stand and pay a toll. I not even thought about that. What countries have that? I don't want that. I want a country without that.
I mean, England's got a couple of toll roads.
Yeah, but it's when you're going from England to Wales.
They've got some in Hull as well.
I
think.
I don't like
pretty
toll.
sure.
Toll
I know some bridges you have to pay to go over.
Why? They're a troll under them. What year is it?
The troll. Sorry, in my head, that's a skit. Like, it's you pulling up. It's like, oh, you got to pay go across the street. Like, what the fuck is there a troll under it? It's the 21st century. We have to hire a fucking witcher to deal with this.
I'm just going to say Germany. I don't know why. It sounds like a nice place to live, Germany.
It's, apparently, from what I've heard.
I think they're paying a lot of young people to move into cities there.
Oh, I could get paid for living. Oh
my god. You guys want to go to Germany?
Live there for 3 years.
Yeah.
Well, it's only like getting paid to go to Mars. Can I live on Mars?
Where are you using your money in Mars?
I don't need money. It's about as lawless as you get.
He's using it to increase his Steam library.
Oh, God.
Imagine that. Why is my ping so high? Oh, because it's going from Mars to Earth. Just passing behind the sun might cut out for a bit.
You've got to wait. We're on Mars. We've got to wait for that 1 month period where Mars is at its closest to Earth to play Valorant with George.
George, why are you so good at Valorant? I've fucking been training with our boys up here on Mars.
The Mars scene is fucking really competitive.
Got you on meta.
I feel like it'd be cool. But yeah, Germany. Just fuck it, Germany.
I think that'll do for this week's episode.
And where are you going? Is it Canada?
It's Canada or Sweden.
Okay, I wasn't listening.
Yeah.
Well, if we all go somewhere in Europe, we can meet up quite easily, to be fair.
Who says we want to do that?
Aww. I'm really sad.
Well, thanks for listening this week. Being the 10th episode. Can't believe we've got this far.
Yeah, we've done 10 whole episodes.
I know.
That's
I just thought we'd have bailed out after the 4th.
yeah. We'd have got to my first edit and then been like, oh, we're not doing this anymore.
Yeah. So make sure to like and subscribe and leave a review on any of the podcasting platforms you listen on, just so people can find us. If you want to talk with Frank, tweet at him.
You're forcing me to use this Twitter.
Yes, you're going to use it at some point.
He wants tweets about the NHS.
A tweet about life if you want. I don't care.
I don't.
At Boris.
At Boris.
At Boris. I just get really aggressive.
Oh, wouldn't it be funny if we want news? That'd be funny.
Yeah. So we'll catch you next week. I've been Ben.
I've been Frank.
I have been George.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.